We're talking colder months, something super simple. This is one of my favorite soups to create for the week. This is a Ribollita. It's a white bean Tuscan soup. So in Italy, it's kind of like a combination of all different ingredients. One that is quite particularly good for stale leftover sourdough bread, which is very prominent in those parts of the country. So we're going to take this bread, we're going to infuse it into this white bean hearty soup, and it's going to become one of those nourishing, fantastic, inside out, warming nature goodness that you can create at home. Here are all the ingredients, super simple, and it starts like any awesome base of ingredient. We've got our celery, we've got our onion, and we're going to get chopping. These base ingredients are pretty essential to any hearty goodness. So what you want to do is, if you have the time, get them into their smallest possible size. Reason being is you're going to extract more flavor. That's meaning your soup is going to be heartier, more deep, and ever so tasty. It's chopped up quite fine with some onion as well. I'm going to just get into some garlic and just going to kind of put this into a lovely pot. Let's turn our heat on here. Going for a medium-high heat. I want this to caramelize into a nice translucent golden brown. Zucchini or squash, depends where you're from, but this one is a fantastic little softener for any soup. I love adding it in at any stage. When you're adding your ingredients, particularly to like a soup or a broth, obviously the earlier they are added in, the more of a liquid sogginess they're going to have, and I kind of like these mushy. But if you like them to hold their shape, put them in quite late to your soup. Sourdough. Now, as we spoke about earlier, fantastic for the gut. If you do have gluten intolerances, obviously wouldn't recommend it, but if you can tolerate gluten, sourdough is fantastic for you. So what we're going to do here, a little trick. Let's come up a little bit. You'll see we have a crusty day-old bread. It's exactly the perfect thing you're looking for. So if you always have maybe leftover bread in some situation and you don't want to go to waste, this is the perfect recipe for you. So I'm just going to slice this up into chunks. And I'm going to soak it in some stock. I'm going to blitz it in a blender and form a paste. Think of this as like an all-natural, what they call a roux, a thickening agent. All right, so the trick is, all it's really doing is combining the stock with the bread, and you're making it into that beautiful paste. So you want to measure it not to be too liquidy, but if you do go too far, you're always going to add it here, not an issue. So I'm looking for like a paste-like consistency. Add in your liquid base first. Blender rules 101, I reckon I'm going to add in that much. As always, the ingredients, the recipes, all down here. You can see them online, on the website. You can just check out the comment section down below. And then go our bread. I'm just going to start in stages. Really cool. So this one time I was out in Tuscany, this lovely old nonna came out and actually showed us this paste. This is not just a DC recipe, this is coming from a nonna herself. We got here some tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes, whole, peeled and diced. Straight in. The secret ingredient to your white bean soup is white beans. And there you go. Look at all the colours coming here. There we go. Gonna add in some thyme, rosemary. Just adding in some more stock right now. Get a nice soupy consistency. And of course that secret ingredient, the sourdough, in the stock, nice. Chunky is gone. It's almost like a soaked up bread. So that actually does a couple things. It's gonna add like a nice acidic sour note, but it's also gonna thicken up our beautiful, I guess, soup. Now what a lot of people do is actually kind of create your soup and then put the sourdough on top just as is. They don't actually blitz it, but this nonna told me to blitz it, so I'm following what nonna says. All right, so now we just sit, bring it to a boil, lid on, 10 minutes, and then after that, about 20 minutes on a lower heat, soup's ready to go. Or a few seasoning points, of course, then it's ready to go. Kale. Did you know that one of the dishes on the Charlie Street menu is Say Hi to Kale? Fun fact, because one of the co-founders, one of my best mates, is actually named Kale. If you follow me on Instagram, you no doubt know that. And this lovely guy here, or girl for that matter, is actually known as Cavallonero in Italy. Fun fact. Again, we are working the chef tips over to our soup. So by adding that beautiful stock-like sourdough paste. It's gonna thicken our soup, or at least hopefully, so come in tight on this one. As I lift the lid on our pride and joy, look at this guy come together. Chunks of tomato, you got a little bit of that zucchini in there, of course. Being a white bean soup, you see that beautiful, like white bean nature. Hearty, yummy, tasty, and so comforting, but oh so good for you. Now, yes, this is a vegan dish, but due to the components of particularly the beans, it's still quite high in protein. So what is left to do on our lovely soup? Essentially add in our beautiful immune boosting, cancer ridding kale, all right? So just gonna take off our stems, just like this. Gonna roll it into whatever ball we can. We're gonna do a shred, and by doing this, you create layers. So if I just roll forward like that, you can start to see layers form. Beautiful strands, green goodness, releasing the oils and all those fantastic properties that are good for our gut, our mind, and of course the cellular activity that allow us to function every day. You'll also notice whenever you cut something, all those oils release, aromas that are really tasty, and I want them going straight into our pot. The heat is actually off right now, so I'm just gonna allow the residual heat to do its thing. Grab your bowl, grab a beautiful pot, a ladle of your soup, and in it goes. Now personally, I like black pepper and of course some olio, and that is your beautiful, hearty, white bean, Ribollita Tuscan soup. Now, if you've been to Italy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, have a little taste of Italy in your own home by creating this yourself. All the recipes can be found on the website. You can also head to this comment section down below and you see them all here. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Give me a comment if you have anything to add or questions specifically to ask. And of course, hit subscribe so you can see me next week with a friend, maybe a girl who I call my girlfriend. Check you, my friends. Bye.